At just 24 years old, Ethan Carter was living in a small town in America. After graduating from college, he had been unemployed for nearly a year. He applied for dozens of jobs, but no company was willing to hire him. One day, feeling frustrated and exhausted, Ethan looked at his bank account. He had only $2,000 to his name. He asked himself, "If I can't find a job, what am I going to do? Maybe I should start a small business of my own." The very next day, Ethan began researching the market. He noticed that many small businesses across America were buying imported products such as phone accessories, small electronics, packaging supplies, and everyday use items. But there was a problem. Because several middlemen were involved between the manufacturer and the retailer, the final prices were much higher. That's when Ethan came up with an idea. What if I find a reliable importer, buy products within my budget, and sell them directly to small businesses? He only had $2,000. So he invested about $1,800 into his first shipment. A few weeks later, the products arrived at his small apartment. And that's when the real struggle began. Ethan grabbed product samples and started walking from store to store. He talked to business owners. He called countless potential customers. He stood at the doors of dozens of businesses, trying to convince them to give him a chance. Most of them simply said, "No." But slowly, things started to change. He began getting small orders. As business owners saw the quality of his products, they slowly started trusting him. Then the phone calls started coming in. New orders. At first, Ethan made only $80 to $100 in profit on each order. But he didn't stop. Instead, he worked even harder. He traveled around the local market, searching for new businesses and new customers. And little by little, demand for his products began growing throughout the town. His importer noticed Ethan's progress. He realized something important. Ethan knew how to sell. So the importer offered him an opportunity that would completely change the future of his business. Credit. Now Ethan didn't need to keep a huge amount of cash on hand just to grow his business. Whenever he received a large order, the importer would provide the products up front. Ethan would sell them, pay the importer back in full, and keep the profit. The more reliable Ethan became, the more trust the importer placed in him. And Ethan never abused that trust. Instead of spending his profits on unnecessary things, he reinvested almost every dollar back into the business. One order became 5. 5 became 50. He found better suppliers. He reduced shipping costs. And he built long-term relationships with small businesses. Within just 1 year, his company was generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. 3 years later, what had started as a tiny operation had grown into a warehouse-based business worth millions of dollars. Then, one morning, Ethan received the news he had dreamed about. His personal net worth had crossed $1 million. The young man who once had only $2,000 in his bank account was now a millionaire. But Ethan's biggest lesson wasn't really about money. He had learned something much more valuable. You don't always need a huge amount of capital to get started. Sometimes, all you need is a small opportunity, the courage to take the first step, and the discipline to keep moving forward even after failure. Ethan's life had completely changed. His story shows us something simple. Starting small, working smart, and refusing to give up can take you much farther than you ever imagined. So if you're unemployed right now, don't just sit around waiting for the perfect job. Keep looking for work. But at the same time, ask yourself one important question. Can I start something of my own with what I already have? Because the small business you start today, or the one you're thinking about starting, could one day take you somewhere you can't even imagine right now. If you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring and motivational stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Your support and love mean everything to us. Thank you so much for watching.